Okay, so we're living in this world that's just go, 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 right? We all want to eat well, save money, and maybe not have that nightly panic about dinner.
Yeah, that 5:30 p.m. what do I make feeling is real.
Totally. And it's this constant clash, isn't it? Busy life versus trying to be healthy. And honestly, too often, convenience just wins out.
Yeah.
And it's often not the best choice nutritionally.
It's such a common friction point. You know, the second you get really hungry, your willpower just kind of tanks and you grab whatever's fastest. But the sources we looked at, they really point to one solid strategy for tackling this whole cycle. It's more of a tactical shift, really, not a complete life overhaul.
And that tactical shift is meal preparation, or meal prepping, as everyone calls it. So for this deep dive, our mission is, well, it's to go beyond just, cooking a big pot of chili.
Right. More than just leftovers.
Exactly. We want to unpack the strategy behind doing it well, look at some maybe surprising benefits, things beyond just saving a bit of time, and really distill those practical tips that help you turn it from a chore into something you actually stick with.
Okay, so let's nail down the basics first. What is meal prep, foundationally? It's essentially planning and preparing your meals ahead of time. Usually this means cooking larger batches of food, maybe on a weekend, and then this is the key part, portioning them out into individual servings, ready to go for the week ahead. It's like nutritional logistics, really.
Nutritional logistics, I like that. Okay, let's get into those immediate wins then, because the first things people usually notice are time and money, right?
Absolutely.
If you can carve out, say, just 2 or 3 focused hours on a Sunday, you're not saving time later, you're actively getting it back. Think about no deciding what to eat during the week, no cooking every night, no waiting in line for takeout.
You just bypass all those little tasks that nibble away at your free time.
Yeah, and that time saving, it links directly to money, doesn't it?
It really does. And what's interesting from the sources is it's not just that cooking at home is cheaper than eating out, though it is.
Right.
The data suggests that home-cooked meals, especially using bulk-bought staples, can be like up to 60% cheaper per meal than grabbing something similar from a fast casual place. You cut out what some budget folks call food budget leakage.
Food budget leakage is that like impulse buy.
Exactly. Those coffees, the unplanned snacks, the I'm too tired to cook takeout orders. Meal prepping helps plug those leaks because you've planned, you've bought just what you need, and you've got food ready. Plus, you waste less food this way, too.
Okay, that 60% figure, that's huge. But what about the initial hurdle? Finding those 2 or 3 hours on a weekend can feel like a really big ask when you're starting out, can't it?
It definitely can feel like a sacrifice at first. But the way the sources frame it is interesting. It's an exchange. You trade a couple of hours of focused effort for maybe, 8 or more hours of saved time and mental energy spread across the week.
Focused time for dispersed time. I like that framing.
And speaking of mental energy, that brings us to maybe the biggest, but often overlooked benefit, reducing stress.
Yes, this is where it gets really interesting, I think, beyond just the practical stuff. It's about cutting down on decision fatigue.
Precisely. If you've got a demanding job or a busy life, every decision you make, even small ones like what's for lunch, uses up a bit of your brain power.
Right. Your cognitive energy.
And when you just eliminate, say, 5 food decisions a day, breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, shopping, you're basically giving your brain a pretty significant break. That mental space you'd normally use worrying about ingredients or what's healthy, it's freed up.
So it turns something that can be a source of daily anxiety into just a non-issue. You can focus elsewhere.
Exactly. It's kind of a structured way to get a bit more peace of mind.
Okay, so we've got the triple win.
Yeah.
Time, money, and less stress, more mental space. Let's shift gears a bit now and look at how this structured approach really impacts your health goals. This isn't just about being efficient. It's about changing your relationship with food.
Yeah, the core power here is really about control and being proactive. When you already have healthy, balanced meals waiting for you in the fridge, well, you basically remove the temptation for impulse eating, right?
Yeah, because the decision is already made.
Right. Hunger often triggers bad choices, and meal prep takes that decision point away when you're most vulnerable. You get total control over the ingredients, no hidden sugars, excess salt, weird fats, and you control how it's cooked. Steamed, baked, grilled, not deep fried unless you choose to.
And connecting that to why so many diets or healthy eating plans fail, portion control often seems to be a huge stumbling block.
Oh, absolutely. We've just gotten so used to massive restaurant servings that our sense of what's a normal amount of food is often way off.
It's like our internal gauge is broken.
It really is. And it's an environmental issue that meal prepping helps solve structurally. The sources we looked at really emphasize this. Restaurant portions can easily be 2, even 3 times larger than official dietary recommendations.
Wow, 3 times.
Yeah. So when you portion out your meals into containers beforehand, you're setting a clear boundary. It's non-negotiable in the moment. And over time, this helps your body sort of recalibrate its fullness signals. You start to recognize appropriate serving sizes again, which is, fundamental for managing weight and just overall metabolic health.
That makes sense. It's like retraining yourself. But okay, let me ask about something that might put people off the practical side.
Yeah.
You cook this food on Sunday, maybe eat it on Wednesday or Thursday. Are you losing nutrients? Is it safe? What did the sources say about that?
That's a really important question and definitely something to consider if you're taking this seriously. So yes, some nutrient loss happens whenever you cook food, and a little bit more can happen when you reheat, especially for delicate things like, say, vitamin C.
Okay.
However, the overall nutritional benefit of eating a home-prepped meal, even if it's lost a few vitamins, still massively outweighs grabbing typical takeout or fast food. The bigger concern, honestly, is food safety.
Right. You don't want to make yourself sick.
Yeah.
So what's the number one rule for safety then?
The absolute key is cooling the food down quickly. You need to manage the danger zone, that temperature range where bacteria multiply fast. So get the cooked food into your containers and into the fridge within 2 hours of cooking. Don't let it sit cooling on the counter for ages.
2 hours max. Got it.
Rapid cooling, then storing it in airtight containers. That's crucial for keeping it safe to eat throughout the week. Non-negotiable.
Okay, fantastic. So the benefits are clear time, money, stress, health control. We know safety is about cooling fast. Now let's get into the how. How do you actually make this work? Make it a routine that sticks. We pulled together 5 sort of key tips for doing meal prep successfully.
All right, tip number 1, the absolute foundation. Plan ahead. And this means more than just jotting down a couple of recipes. The really successful preppers often use techniques like reverse planning. They look at their schedule first, got a tough workout Wednesday, plan a higher carb meal for Tuesday night or Wednesday lunch, unexpected dinner invite, just cross that meal off this week's prep list.
So it builds in flexibility. It's not rigid?
Exactly. That flexibility stops it feeling like a restriction.
Okay, that makes sense. Tip 2.
Maximize your efficiency with batch cooking, but maybe not how most people think about it. Instead of cooking 6 identical shepherd's pies.
Right, which gets boring fast.
Super boring. The better approach is what some call component preparation. You batch cook the building blocks, things that are versatile.
Like what?
Think staple grains, big batch of quinoa, brown rice, proteins, grilled chicken breasts, baked tofu, lentils, hard-boiled eggs, and then big trays of roasted or steamed veggies, broccoli, sweet potatoes, carrots, that kind of thing.
Okay, so you cook the parts separately.
Yes, keep them separate. Then each day you mix and match them. Add different sauces, spices, maybe some fresh toppings. That way you avoid flavor fatigue completely. It's the difference between eating the same casserole 6 times and eating 6 variations of a healthy bowl or plate.
That shift from full meals to components feels like a game changer for sticking with it long term. Okay, tip 3. Invest wisely. Containers, right.
Absolutely. This sounds basic, but the containers you use really matter. Poor quality containers can make the food taste weird or spoil faster.
Leaky containers are the worst.
Oh, definitely. The sources strongly recommend investing in good quality, airtight glass containers, especially ones that can go in the oven and microwave. Glass doesn't hold on to smells or stains like plastic can.
And it heats more evenly too, I find.
It does. Look for ones with good seals, maybe vents for reheating. Making storage and reheating easy is key. If it's a hassle, you'll stop doing it.
Makes sense. Reduce the friction, which leads nicely into tip 4. Stay organized. This sounds like making it a ritual.
It is. Pick your prep day and time. Block it out in your calendar like an important appointment you can't miss. But the sort of advanced organizational tip here is to adopt a mise en place approach for your prep session.
Mise en place, French cooking term, right? Everything in its place.
Exactly. Apply it to your meal prep. Before you even start cooking, have everything ready. Ingredients out, washed, chopped, measured. Get your containers ready. This kind of hyper-organization cuts down on stopping and starting. It builds momentum and can seriously slash your total cooking time. Turns 4 hours of chaos into 2 hours of focused flow.
That sounds much less daunting. Okay, final tip, number 5. This tackles a big one. Boredom. How do you keep it interesting?
Yeah, boredom is the ultimate meal prep killer. But the solution isn't necessarily cooking wildly different things each week that defeats a batching efficiency. The key is creativity after the prep. Use external flavor boosters. Sauces, dressings, spices, fresh herbs, a squeeze of lemon or lime. That big batch of plain grilled chicken. One day, toss it with soy sauce, ginger, and sesame oil for an Asian feel. The next day, maybe lemon juice, oregano, and olives for a Mediterranean vibe.
So the variety comes from the finishing touches.
Precisely. Add those fresh, bright flavors right before you eat, not usually during the initial cook. It keeps everything tasting vibrant and stops you feeling like you're eating the same thing over and over.
Okay, these tips really highlight that meal prep isn't just about calorie counting or saving cash. It's a proper strategic tool, isn't it?
It really is. It's a powerful way to take back control over what you eat, free up your time, and genuinely lower your day-to-day stress levels.
Why the distant fatigue thing is real.
By dedicating that focused block of time each week to the planning and the prep, you're essentially building a system where hitting your health goals becomes the default, not this constant uphill battle.
So if we zoom out for a second, the core idea here is gaining control and efficiency through planning ahead, getting organized, and doing things in batches. That's a pretty powerful concept beyond just food.
It really is. Which raises kind of a final thought for you, the listener. If applying this focused weekly effort can make such a difference to your diet, your budget, your stress, where else in your life could you apply this batch control mindset?
Interesting question. Like, what other areas feel chaotic or stressful because you handle them reactively instead of proactively?
Exactly. Maybe it's managing your fitness schedule, or tackling your email inbox, or even getting a handle on long-term financial planning.
So the takeaway is, maybe the transformation you're looking for doesn't always need more hours in the day, but perhaps just a smarter, more structured, pre-planned approach to the hours you already have. Something to think about.